So next, if you check the third question, we have lots of multiplication of matrices to do. So now if you check the first part of the question, the number of columns in the first matrix is 2 and the second matrix, the number of rows is 2. So both are same, so multiplication is possible and the final matrix will have the order 2 by 2, right? Then next we have to just multiply and check what's the answer. So A times A, like first row with first column, A times A squared, B times B would be B squared, right? Now first row with the second column, A times minus B would be minus AB and B times A would be plus AB. Now minus B times A would be minus AB. Now second row with first column, minus B times A minus AB and A times B would be plus AB. Then now second row with second column, minus B times minus B, minus minus would be plus and B times B would be B squared and A times A would be A squared, so plus A squared. Now we have to just simplify this. This one you can write it as same, A squared plus B squared, and this one also A squared plus B squared, right? But this 2, if you check, minus AB plus AB both will cancel each other out, so the answer for both the elements, it would be 0 here. Then next, going to the second part, here if you check, number of columns, it's 1 in the first matrix, whereas the number of rows, it's 1 in the second matrix. So multiplication is possible and the final order would be 3 by 3, right? 3 by 3. So now just multiplying first row with each columns. Okay, we will have 3 elements in the first row of the final matrix. So 1 times 2, first row with first column 2. Okay, first row with second column 1 times 3 would be 3, and first row with the third column 1 times 4 would be 4. Now second row with each columns, 2 times 2 would be 4 and 2 times 3 would be 6 and 2 times 4 would be 8. Now third row with each columns, 3 times 2 would be 6, 3 times 3 would be 9 and 3 times 4 would be 12. Now going to the third part of the question, if you check, number of columns in first matrix, it's 2 and number of rows in the second matrix, it's 2. So the final order would be 2 by 3 matrix. So it would be a 2 by 3 matrix. So now doing first row with first column, 1 times 1 would be 1. Okay, then minus 2 times 2 would be minus 4. Next 1, now first row with the second column, 1 times 2 would be 2 and minus 2 times plus 3 would be minus 6. Now doing the first row with the third column, 1 times 3 would be 3 and minus 2 times 1 would be minus 2. Now doing the same process with the second row and each columns, 2 times 1 2 and 3 times 2 would be 6 and 2 times 2 would be 4 and 3 times 3 would be 9 and 2 times 3 would be 6 and 3 times 1 would be 3. Now just adding to get the final answer. 1 minus 4 would be minus 3 and 2 minus 6 it would be minus 4 and 3 minus 2 1, 2 plus 6 8, 4 plus 9 13 and 6 plus 3 9. So this is the answer for the third part of the question. Now let's do the fourth part. So first row with first column, 2 times 1 would be 2, 3 times 0 would be 0 and 4 times 3 would be 12. Then next, first row with the second column, 2 times minus 3 would be minus 6. Then 3 times 2 would be 6 plus 6. And 4 times 0 would be 0. Now doing the first row with the third column, 2 times 5 would be 10. And 3 times 4 would be 12. Then 4 times 5 would be 20. Now doing the second row with each columns, 3 times 1 would be 3, 4 times 0 would be 0, and 5 times 3 would be 15. Right? Now doing second row with second column, 3 times minus 3 would be minus 9, then 4 times 2 would be plus 8, and 5 times 0 would be 0. Now doing the second row with the third column, 3 times 5 would be 15, 4 times 4 would be 16, and 5 times 5 would be 25. Now doing the third row with each columns, 4 times 1 would be 4, then 0, 5 times 0 would be 0, and 6 times 3 would be 18. Now 4 times minus 3 minus 12. Now 5 times 2 would be 10, and finally 6 times 0 would be 0. So now doing third one with third one, 4 times 5 would be 20, then 5 times 4 also would be 20, and 6 times 5 would be 30. Now we have to just add 2 plus 12, 14, 6 minus 6, 0, 10 plus 20, 30, 30 plus 12, 42, right? 3 plus 15, 18, 8 minus 9 is minus 1, 25 plus 15 is 40, and 40 plus 16, it's 56, 18 plus 4, it's 22, 10 minus 12 minus 2, and 20 plus 20, 40, 40 plus 30, 70. So this is the answer. Now going to the fifth part. If you check the order, it is 3 by 2 and 2 by 3, right? So final order of the matrix would be a 3 by 3 matrix, right? Whatever is there in between will go away. So 3 by 3 matrix. So 2 times 1, this one with this one, 2 times 1, 2, then 1 times minus 1 would be minus 1. Now doing the first row with second column, 2 times 0 is 0, and 1 times 2 would be 2. Then first row with the third column, 2 times 1 would be 2, and 1 times 1 would be 1. Right? Now doing the second row, 3 times 1 would be 3, 2 times minus 1 would be minus 2. Now 3 times 0 would be 0, and 2 times 2 would be 4. Now 3 times 1 would be 3, and 2 times 1 would be plus 2. And minus 1 times 1 would be minus 1, doing the third row, right? Minus 1 times 1 is minus 1, and 1 times minus 1 is also minus 1. Then minus 1 times 0 would be 0, and 1 times 2 is 2. Now minus 1 times 1 is minus 1, then 1 times 1 it's plus 1. Now we have to just simplify. 2 minus 1, 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 minus 2, 1, 4, 3 plus 2, 5. Minus 1 minus 1, it would be minus 2. There are two minus 1s, right? So it is minus 2. 2 and 1 minus 1 is 0. So this is the answer. Coming to the last part of the question. So we are having a 2 by 3 matrix and 3 by 2 matrix. So 3 is common in between, right? So the final matrix will have the order 2 by 2, right? Now let's do this question. Now first row with first column, right? 3 times 2 is 6, minus 1 times 1 is minus 1. Then 3 times 3 is plus 9. Now second element, first row with second column. 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. Then minus 1 times 0 is 0. Then 3 times 1 is plus 3, right? Now going to the second row and first column. Minus 1 times 2 would be minus 2. Then 0 times 1 is 0. And 2 times 3 would be plus 6, right? Now doing the second row with second column. Minus 1 times minus 3 would be plus 3. And 0 times 0 is 0. And 2 times 1 would be plus 2. Now finally we have to just add. So 9 minus 1 would be 8, and 8 plus 6 is 14. Then 3 minus 9 is minus 6, and 6 minus 2 is 4, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So this is the answer for the sixth part.